Prompt engineering isn't magic. It's probability steering. People love to talk about prompt engineering like it's some secret, elite skill locked behind paywalls, bootcamps, or years of coding experience. Gatekeepers act like you need a PhD or insider access to get good results from AI tools. The truth is simpler and way more empowering. Prompt engineering is just steering probabilities. At its core, every large language model, whether it's ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, or whatever comes next, works the same way. It doesn't think. It doesn't understand. It predicts. One token at a time. A token could be a whole word, part of a word, punctuation, or even a space. The model looks at everything that's come before, your prompt, any context you've given it, and calculates the most likely next token based on patterns it saw in billions of examples during training. Then it picks the next one, and the next, building the response step by step. That's it. No hidden intelligence. No secret reasoning engine. Just probability distributions over possible words, shaped by massive training data. When you write a prompt, you're not casting a spell. You're nudging those probabilities in the direction you want. A good prompt increases the chances the model will generate exactly what you're after, while a vague one leaves it rolling dice in the dark. This is why the same question can get wildly different answers if you ask twice. Each runs samples from slightly different probability paths, especially if temperature or other settings are involved. It's not broken. It's probabilistic by design. Understanding that removes the mystery and the frustration. You stop chasing perfect prompts and start experimenting like an engineer. Test, observe, adjust, repeat. So how do you steer effectively without falling for the hype? Start with clarity and structure. Vague prompts get vague outputs because they don't constrain the probabilities enough. Be specific about what you want, the format, the tone, the length, the perspective. Tell the model to role play. Act as a seasoned black solopreneur who bootstrapped a tech tool, and suddenly the probabilities tilt toward practical, no BS advice instead of generic corporate fluff. Use chain of thought prompting to force step-by-step logic. Add something like think step by step before answering or break this down into numbered steps. This doesn't make the model smarter, it makes logical sequences more probable than jumping to conclusions. Few-shot examples work the same way. Give it 1 or 2 perfect samples of what you want, and the model sees the pattern, making that style far more likely. Role-playing is powerful for tailored results. Want grant application angles that understand racial and economic barriers in tech? Prompt with respond as a black founder who's navigated grant systems and knows the real hurdles. The model draws from patterns in its training data that match that persona, steering away from generic advice. Structured outputs help too. Say output in JSON format with keys for problem, solution, risks, and next steps. This constrains the probabilities to a rigid shape, reducing rambling or hallucinations. And always verify, because no matter how good your prompt, the model can still fabricate details if the most probable path isn't the factual one. For solopreneurs especially, this demystification is huge. You don't need expensive courses or a dev team. You need curiosity and iteration. Start small. Take a repetitive task like drafting social media posts about progressive black thought in tech. Prompt once vaguely, see the output, then refine. Add constraints, examples, roles, until it's consistently useful. Each tweak is you steering probabilities, turning a tool into infrastructure. The gatekeepers want you to believe it's complicated so they can sell solutions. The reality is liberating. Anyone can learn to steer effectively. It's not magic. It's mechanics. Once you grasp that LLMs are probability machines, you stop being impressed by flashy outputs and start building smarter systems around them. Prompt engineering isn't a rare talent. It's a practical skill anyone can develop. And for those of us building outside the traditional paths, grads hustling side gigs, solopreneurs scaling without teams, it's one of the most accessible ways to gain leverage today. Experiment. Iterate. Steer the probabilities your way. The results will follow.